I like Sarasota. It's a little more family-oriented, quiet, very beautiful.
In this episode of Why Sarasota, we're going to speak to someone who's recently chosen to call Sarasota home. UFC Hall of Famer, member of the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu family, and arguably one of the most influential people in mixed martial arts, Royce Gracie. In this episode, we're going to touch on his career and why he's chosen to make Sarasota home. Stick around.
He looks like he's in tremendous pace down. He's tapped out.
There's Royce left, there's two, there's a three, and I thought four.
That arm out. There it is. He's stepping out. That's it. Beautiful, beautiful technique by Gracie.
Mr. Gracie, what are you doing these days?
Go all over the world teaching from kids to adults, to the police, to army, everybody.
Speaking of kids, you and I are both girl dads. We both have daughters that are in a mixed martial art, mine in Taekwondo, yours certainly in Jiu-Jitsu. What words of encouragement do you have for parents that are thinking about getting their kids involved in a martial art? Girls specifically, but also for the boys, but just in general, what are your thoughts on that?
Martial art will teach them discipline. Actually, any sport activity will teach them discipline. So they gotta show up on time, they have to have the right equipment, they have to be practicing, so it teaches them discipline, any sport activity. But Jiu-Jitsu will give you confidence.
Tell us, what is one of the toughest things you've had to overcome outside of a competitor in the ring, in your career or in your life?
I look at life so easy, so simple. I keep it simple, I don't complicate. So I think raising kids was the hardest one, but that's pretty much it. Life is good in my world, it's simple. I keep it simple.
So if we had to go back in time and Jiu-Jitsu was not your career path and your life, what do you think you would be doing today?
Anything that I would do, I would be number one. I was made to be number one, so anything that I would choose.
And you've got some passions outside of Jiu-Jitsu as well. What are your top one or two?
Shooting. I love shooting. Not just with guns, rifles, but bows. So, yep, that's my passion right there. Anything that's a challenge, I'm gonna do it.
Speaking of traveling the world, who you are and what you do, I'm sure you could honestly live anywhere. So what encouraged the move from California here to Sarasota, Florida?
I love California. California is one of the best states in the world. The only place in the world that you can surf in the morning, snow ski in the afternoon, and spend the night in the desert on the same day. But the politics got so bad over there, criminals and the homeless people, and so I told my sons, we gotta move, we gotta get out of here, we gotta go. So that's why we moved to Florida, safer. Miami is nice, but it's too much of a party, too busy. I like Sarasota, it's a little more family-oriented, quiet, very beautiful. But California is the best state in the world. It's just the politics over there.
Understood. And speaking of Sarasota, since you've moved here, what's maybe some things that you think Sarasota is doing very well as a community, as a city, as a general area?
I can't answer that question because I have not been here for that long. I moved over here 3 years ago, about almost 3 years ago, but I travel 8 months of the year. So I come home, spend the night, leave again for a week, come home, spend 2-3 days, leave for 2 weeks. But I love it. I love the weather, I love the people, the beach.
I think you and I both agree Sarasota is a really safe place to be. But martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu especially, is quite a great self-defense skill to learn. Is there any place in particular in town that you encourage people that are looking to get themselves or their children involved in here in Sarasota specifically that they should take a look at and consider?
Wait until we open up our school.
I love it.
We're building one right now. It's gonna take about a year.
Yeah.
But it'll be top quality.
Hopefully that's breaking news. That's fantastic. So when you've got friends and family that come to visit, what are some of the top things you tell people that they must do and see here in the Sarasota area?
Go to the beach. The warm water, the flat white sand. It's I love that. I like to go explore. So go explore Tampa, go explore St. Pete, Venice, you see. So I like to explore, to always expand a little bit. So I tell people, go not just Sarasota, but go check out the surrounding neighborhoods.
Any favorite restaurants you've got in town?
Classical.
They've been in a video before, so they'll be happy to hear that.
That's one of the to-go places.
Is there anything in particular that you like on the menu over there?
Chicken pesto.
I'll have to check it out.
Chicken pesto. That's to go. That's a classical chicken pesto pasta over there.
It sounds like you've got some news that you're going to be opening a school here in Sarasota within the next year or so, which is going to be, I think, incredible for the community. Anything else new that you've got coming up for you that people should be aware of, that people should be on the lookout for?
I'm traveling everywhere, teaching. There's a production of a movie on the works about the story of the first UFC. How the first were up to the first UFC, how the beginning, the producers think that was the day that they changed, they exposed a lot of the martial arts. So hopefully about another year or so, that will come out.
Are you going to be in that, or is there going to be someone that's playing you as a character?
There's going to be somebody playing me, yes. It's me 30 years ago, so young Royce, yes.
Have you picked anybody for the role yet, or are they doing that?
Not yet, they're just pitching the story right now.
Very cool, very cool. Thank you so much for your time today, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. I'd like to thank Mr. Gracie for taking the time to meet with us today, offering us some interesting insights and his thoughts here on our mutual hometown of Sarasota, Florida. Take it from the man that could call anywhere home. Sarasota, Florida is the place to be. If you're considering making a move or calling Sarasota home as well, give me a call and be well.